Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme from Cerebellum Consulting, and welcome to day 3 of our 90-day share. How are you? I hope you're all doing really well this morning. Thought I might just get in a sneaky vlog before my very busy day begins. My first person coming to visit me at 8 o'clock. So just wanted to take the opportunity and say good morning. So as you know, a couple of days ago, I brought you some information around support that was available for parents needing a little bit of counselling or some new tools and ideas for managing behaviour with children, or some tips and tricks for updating your parenting skills as the little ones get older. Yesterday I spoke with you about funding rounds that are happening in October for the program for students with disabilities, and as I mentioned yesterday, that information is available also on our website, which is www.cerebellumconsulting.com.au. But do give me a call if you've got any queries, or send me a message, just like one of our viewers did yesterday, Sarah. So hi Sarah, and thank you very much for your question. She was actually a really good one. Sarah has asked for a little bit more information about what a cognitive assessment is and what the process is. So a cognitive assessment, Sarah, is an assessment that looks at how a child, well, we're talking about children, but how a child stores, retrieves, interprets, makes sense of information around them from the environment. And when we say environment, we mean a classroom setting perhaps. And so a cognitive assessment looks at the way memory works, how quickly a child is able to work compared to their peers, how well they're able to comprehend literature that they're given perhaps, and also how well they're able to understand patterns and relationships through things that are also non-verbal, like pictures. So the process for a cognitive assessment is that normally the parents will book in what's called a pre-assessment consult, and that's where they'll sit down with myself or one of the team here, and for about an hour we'll go over the social development history of your child. So we'll ask you a whole bunch of questions ranging from, you know, perhaps during the pregnancy through to early stages, achievement of milestones, whether or not there's been any family background of any issues or concerns that might be related or impacting on what you're seeing now, and what the reason for the referral is. We'll also ask you, you know, what your goals are for the assessment, and what's going to be really important for you to find out from the assessment, because we want to make sure that, you know, we're giving you really good value. And as part of that, you know, I'll talk with you about this in a moment, we need to understand really what it is that you as a parent are looking for, what's going to make sense to you. I think sometimes psychologists can write reports, and perhaps, you know, sometimes, you know, we'll give feedback sessions to parents, but then sometimes parents will go away and still have questions or comments. So we want to make sure that we're really accessible to you so that we can answer all of those. So yes, do tell us what your goals for the assessment are as well. We'll also meet with the little citizen that we're going to be assessing, and we'll have a chat to them as well, trying to build some rapport, let them know, well, this is the room that you'll be seeing us in, and this is where we are, and this is this face. And so when they do come back for the assessment, it's not so much of a big surprise for them. Okay, so after that consultation, what we'll do is we'll book in time for your child to come and have a meeting, and that can take, the assessment itself can take just over 2 hours, between 2 and 3 hours. Now that varies, of course, from child to child, and you know, what I say to parents is do try and give yourself and your child enough space and time to do that. So sometimes, look, we might do that in one block if it's in the morning, for example, and the child's coping well, that's no problem. For other children, we might space it out or spread it out. So we get information too from teachers, paediatricians and doctors around this child's functioning, and we'll talk with you about the best way to conduct the assessment for your child. But in total, you're looking at about 2 or 3 hours of time between your child and the psychologist to do this assessment. And when it's a cognitive assessment, as Sarah's asking about today, what we use is something called the WISC 5. It kind of sounds like a cooking instrument, I know, but the letters stand for Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children. We use the latest edition, which is the 5th, and it's delivered on iPads. So all the questions occur on the iPads. The clinician and the child both have an iPad, and the iPads talk to each other. So as the child's going along, entering data and entering their answers, the clinician's getting some feedback about progress and how it's all going as well. So the children really love it because it doesn't really feel like a testing sort of situation like perhaps you and I might associate a test with from our backgrounds and pasts. But anyway, after the actual testing has been completed, the process then is you go away and you wait really for a call from us. But behind the scenes, what you don't see is the clinician will actually sit down, start to look at some of the data. They'll score it, interpret it, write it up. And then the other thing that they'll do is they'll also include in the report a bunch of different sections. So when the report is finalised, and that can take about a week, but when the report is actually finalised, what we'll do then is we'll call you back for a sit down and a chat, and we'll explain to you line by line by line everything that's written in that report, so that you have a really good opportunity to ask us any questions. We can clarify things. You know, if you have gone away and thought there's something else you want included or addressed in the assessment report, you can let us know at that time too, because it's not locked in. We are still able to make a few changes here and there. So at the very end of the report, we do include some really practical recommendations, because we understand from past clients that this is what they're really wanting. You know, it's not just enough to know, oh, you know, my child's having trouble with reading. A lot of parents are saying, okay, so what do I do? And good question, what do you do? So you can look at a cerebellum consulting report, and what we will do is include recommendations, tools and strategies that parents can implement at home, and also some for the teachers. If your child's eligible for funding through different streams, we'll also make recommendations for that. We might make recommendations to your paediatrician or to your doctor too. So you've got something that you're taking away that's actually a really useful tool, and it means essentially that yourself, the school and your doctor or paediatrician can all be on the same page in terms of your child's next steps. So the value in having a cognitive assessment completed, it can be expensive, but the value is in understanding how your child's mind is working now, because that's going to give us the information that we need as you know, your child's supportive team to help your child reach their full potential. We don't know what we don't know, so it's impossible really to say without an assessment what will help your child and what won't. We have to know what we're treating. We have to know what the concerns are so that we can put these things in place. So that's basically a very brief overview of a cognitive assessment and how it works. So there'll be a pre-consultation, then the assessment, and then there's a follow-up consultation. Okay, so Medicare can contribute towards the consultations, but Medicare don't contribute toward the assessment. We do offer direct debit services through our program called itsalltalk.com.au. So if you're wanting an assessment and don't know how to pay for it, most of our parents are using It's All Talk at the moment. It's just a direct debit amount, a little bit a week or a fortnight. You can set it up the way you want, but I'll leave it to you to look into that. So that's how a cognitive assessment works. The other value in a cognitive assessment is it can give us an indication of whether or not your child's difficulties or challenges make them now eligible to apply for funding under the program for students with disabilities. And that opens up a whole other range of services that are there to support your child. So your child can't get them if they haven't had this assessment. So that's that. If you have any queries at all about cognitive assessments or what they involve or the process, please send me a comment or a private message. You can always book an appointment online through our website, which is www.cerebellumconsulting.com.au. And if there's anything else you need at any time, just give us a call. The number is 8765 2434. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll look forward to seeing you for day 4 tomorrow. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Bye.